How y'all good people doing? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time, please consider subscribing to my channel. And while you're at it, smash that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, hit that post notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. Be careful down in the comment section of the videos. A lot of spam, a lot of scammers. I will never ask you to contact me by WhatsApp or Telegram. I also do not invest money for my subscribers. So please be careful. Don't get yourself scammed. If you want up to 12 free stocks, Webull is going to give you up to 12 free stocks when you open a new Webull brokerage account. Put any amount of money in that brokerage account. They're going to give you up to 12 free stocks for just trying out their brokerage app. There's a link down in the description box of this video. Go click on that Webull link. Open up your new Webull account today. Go get that free stock. Go get that free money. I'm going to also send you a Webull tutorial video to walk you through how to use the Webull app to make your first trade. All you got to do is send me an email. Let me know in that email that you opened the Webull account, that you funded the Webull account, and then I'm going to send you that Webull tutorial video so you can start building wealth ASAP. That email address is down in the description box of the video as well. Just go down to the description box, expand it, scroll up. You're going to see RF Financial Consulting, which is the name of my company. And then right below that, you're going to see an email address. So you certainly can send me an email and request that Webull tutorial video. Well, let's dive into what we want to talk about this evening. And that is, how do you turn your annual income into your monthly income? I have a lot of experience with this, guys, because when I was 30 years old, I was making $30,000 a year. And for some of you, that's a lot of money. For some of you, that's not a lot of money. At the time, it was a lot of money to me because that's the only money I had. But I always had dreams and ambitions to turn that money, that $30,000 a year, I wanted to turn that into my monthly income. But of course, at 30 years old, I did not have the financial literacy that I have today. So it was a process. It didn't happen overnight for me. And for most of us who are trying to turn our annual income into our monthly income, it won't happen overnight. But I thought I'd share my journey so that some of you can understand some of the obstacles I had to evade, get by, jump across, crawl under, in order to get myself to a position where in today's environment, I've more than exceeded $30,000 per month, right? At 30 years old, I was making $30,000 per year. Now I make way more than that every single month. And I'm gonna walk you through how I was able to pull that off. Most of us are gonna have to trade time for money. I was no exception to that. I had to trade time for money in order for me to do what? Get money to take care of myself and my family. See, I don't come from a background of wealth. My family wasn't wealthy. See, I didn't have any wealth that was, thrown to me and say, hey, Richard, you're a good kid. Here's a couple $100,000. Go make your mark on this world financially. See, I didn't have that. And I know many of you don't have that, right? So at 30 years old, I was starting at the bottom. Zero net worth, bad credit, and just coming into an entry-level banking job making $30,000 a year. But I always knew there was a way to make as much money as I wanted to make, right? I knew there was a way, I just had to find it. So that's what I started. I started down that pathway of figuring out, how do I take my annual income and turn it into my monthly income? First thing I learned on my road to turning my annual income into my monthly income was, the more valuable you are to the marketplace, the more money you make. The less valuable you are to the marketplace, the less money you make. What do I mean by that? Let me tell you exactly what I mean. See, out here in this real world we live in, right? This real world, the 1% control all of the financial activity in the real world we live in. Not some make-believe world that we've created up here in our head, but in the real world, they control it all, right? But here's the deal. The 1% will pay you. They will pay you based on the value you bring to them. In my situation, my 1% was the banking industry. I started out in the management program at the bottom of the totem pole, right? But I knew if I were to work smart, learn, apply what I learned, I should be able to move up. And I should be able to do what? As I move up, become more valuable to the banking industry. The more valuable I become, the more they got to pay me. The more I can demand, better yet, because they really don't want to pay me nothing. But if I'm valuable and I'm making money for them, I can always take my talent and go elsewhere. And I used that tactic over and over and over when I was in banking. But first, I had to increase my value or my financial value to the system. This system that the 1% has created for the 99%, right? Because we know in this country, most people work for somebody. I know it's the cool thing to say, I own my own business, but guys, most Americans work for somebody. The last time I looked at that statistic, 85% of Americans work for someone. So it's cool to say I own my own business, but most Americans don't own their own business. They work for somebody, and I was one of that 85%. So how in the world do I go from making $30,000 per year to doubling that per month? How do I go from $30,000 a year to $60,000 per month? Here's how I did it. Remember I told you I was in that management training program, but I always had ambition. I always knew, hey, if I could get my pinky toe in there, I'm gonna get my whole foot in, then I'm gonna bring my whole leg in, then I'm gonna bring my whole body in, right? I always knew that. So what did I do? I dived into that management program and I started learning how money moves in this country through the banking system. See, they were trying to teach me how to be a branch manager, but I knew I wasn't even worried about that, right? I said, no, y'all can teach me this, and this is what you hired me for, but I'm gonna learn how this thing really work. And when I learn how it really work, guess what I'm gonna do with that knowledge? I'm gonna use it to my advantage. I'm gonna use it to start slowly building up my financial value so that I can demand the type of money I wanna make, because I need to take this money and put it in something that's going to multiply while I trade time for money with you guys. So that's what I started doing. I went through this little management training program, learning everything about the banking industry. And then a year later, boom, they throw me in a branch. And then guess what started happening? All of these people started coming into the branch saying, hey, I want to speak to the manager. And your boy was the manager. I was brand spanking new, didn't know what I was doing, but I was the manager. They came in and sat down. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I got $1 million, $2 million, $3 million with you guys. I need you to work with me and tell me what can the bank offer me to make this $2-3 million work for me. And I was like, whoa, you got how much with the bank? And right there is where my real training began. It wasn't the management training they gave me. The real training began when I start sitting across from millionaires and multimillionaires, right? When I start sitting across from those folks as the branch manager of their local bank, when they would come in, those conversations, that was my training. Why do I tell you that? Here's the deal, guys. If you want to make yourself more financially valuable, guess what you got to do? You got to start hanging around people who are financially valuable, right? If I want to be more financially valuable, but Pookie, my cousin over here, don't care nothing about that. All Pookie want to do is turn up a cold one, right? If that's the person I hang around all the time, how in the world am I going to learn how to be more financially valuable from Pookie? I can't. I got to start hanging around people that are already financially valuable. First lesson, lesson number 1, birds of a feather flock together, right? If I want to be an eagle, I need to be hanging with eagles. If I want to be some pigeon, then I'm going to hang with pigeons. Birds of a feather flock together. So if you want to create more financial value to the marketplace, number 1 thing you got to do, start hanging around people that already are where you want to be. So that's what I started doing. I started rubbing elbows with these customers, right? Trying to soak up and learn how in the world can you have a couple million in this bank and you ain't that much older than me. Some of them were, but some of them weren't, right? So I started learning from these people about money. I started asking them questions about what did they do for a living. Real estate folks, business owners, right? Professionals, all walks of life, right? I just started asking them, what did you do in order to do this? And every single one of them I talked to, every single one of them, guys, said I took this income that I was making, whether it be through my business, whether it was through real estate, whether it was through being a professional, I took that income and I put it in something to multiply it. So I said, okay, good lesson. Lesson well received, right? Lesson well received. Also, I learned through having those conversations, the art of being able to negotiate with whoever I work with. They said, listen, Richard, I know you're the branch manager, but I know you got aspirations of being more. Here's what you do. You go be the very best branch manager you can be and you make yourself more valuable to this bank. Once you make yourself more valuable, then you go out and see what the competition will pay you for that value that you've created, that financial value. That's what I did. Every couple of years, I would go out in the open market, interview with other banks, and say, hey, here's the value that I bring to the financial marketplace. What are you willing to compensate me for that value? And then I would go back to my existing employer and I said, hey guys, love you, but guess what? I know I bring more financial value to you guys. I also know what my value is to the marketplace. I'd love to stay here with you, but here's what I'm looking for. Now, again, guys, I wouldn't be able to go in and have that conversation had I not went out and tested the open market quietly. But that's what I would do every couple of years in banking. So I spent about 7 years in retail banking, learning the ins and outs, slowly moving up the chain of command, slowly increasing the salary. But by year 7, I was done with retail. I learned everything I needed to learn in retail, and it was time to go to the big boy stage, which was commercial banking. So about year 7, I took another job in commercial banking, and that's when the whole world opened up for me from a financial standpoint, right? Now, at this time, I'm still trading time for money. And again, guys, 85% of us trade time for money. We do not own our own business. That's what the statistics tell me. So I was still trading time for money, but I had created a level of financial value and my salary was starting to go up. By that time, I was making about 50 grand a year. So slowly from 30 to 50, it took me about 7 years. Not a lot of money in my world, but it may be a lot of money in your world. But nevertheless, that's what I was making. So I went to commercial banking. And I did the same thing in commercial banking that I had did in retail banking. So at 37 years old, I was making about 50 grand a year. But in that 7 years, I had acquired 3 or 4 rental properties as well. So I was working the day job, climbing, adding more value to the marketplace, increasing my salary incrementally, but I was also taking that salary and doing what the folks from the retail bank that I had rubbed elbows with told me to do. Don't just take your salary and go out here and spend it. Take that salary and buy some assets. So that's what I did for those 7 years when I was in retail. Because guess what? The millionaires that I was hanging out with, clients that I was hanging out with, that I got the opportunity to talk to every day, they told me, take that money, but multiply it. Put it in something. Don't just blow it on stuff, making somebody else wealthy. Put that money in something. So that's what I started doing. I started putting it in real estate, started putting it in the stock market. Remember, I told you guys about at 30 years old, I started taking $150 every 2 weeks, putting it into the stock market through the company-sponsored 401k program. So that's what I started doing. So for 7 years, I had been doing that, buying real estate and adding more value to the marketplace through my skill set, right? 7-year mark, jumped into commercial banking. Whole nother level, right? You're talking about a whole nother level. And from there, I spent the next 18 years in commercial banking. And when I left commercial banking in 2019, I was making over 6 figures a year. And I had been making over 6 figures a year for about 10 years. I still had not taken my $30,000 a year job, salary, income, and I still hadn't converted it though into monthly income, right? I still hadn't converted it into monthly income. So what changed in 2019? What changed? What changed was I took my skill set, the skill set that I had developed over the last 20 to 25 years. I took that skill set and I created my own business. Remember, mentioned earlier, 85% of Americans work for somebody, about 15% own their own business. So I jumped from 85% working for somebody, I jumped over to the 15% where you own your own business. So I created my own business, all right? RF Financial Consulting. And I said to myself, okay, Richard, it's now or never. You're gonna either do this or you'll never do it. So I said to myself, I'm done with banking. Thank you very much. I built a lot of wealth, but I traded a lot of time in order to get this money to invest in assets to build that wealth. I'm done with that lifestyle. It's now or never. So I formed my own company, took this high-level skill set that I had built up and acquired over 25 years, And I set out to do what? Take my annual income and turn it into my monthly income. And that's what I did. So I took my skill set and I turned that skill set into a business. But before I could turn that skill set into a business, I had to make sure there was a business to turn it into. So I tell people all the time, if you're going to start a business, you got to ask yourself two questions. Two questions you got to start with. Number one, is there a problem that I've identified that needs solving? Is there a problem out in the marketplace that I have identified that I believe I can create a solution to solve? That's the first question I had to ask myself before I quit banking, 6-figure income, to go out on my own with zero income. I said, okay, Richard, can you answer that question? What's your skill set? Well, financial literacy, financial education, teaching people how to build wealth, how to multiply wealth, how to make money, keep it, multiply. That's the skill set. But is there a problem out there for that? Yeah, there's a big problem for it. 100 million people don't even have any retirement savings in this country. 62% of people live paycheck to paycheck. Right? So there was a big, wide open problem out there in the financial literacy space. So I said to myself, okay, I've identified the problem. Lack of financial literacy. That's the problem. What's your solution? Well, you spent 25 years in banking. You also spent 25 years investing on your own in real estate for income, in the stock market, and built a level of wealth on your own. So yes, you do have a solution that could potentially solve this financial literacy problem. So, question 1 answered, checked off. Question 2 then. Okay, you have figured out you do have a solution to solve this problem. Okay, good. But where are you going to get the people to solve their problem? How you going to find them? How you going to find these people? Okay, I said, well, tell you what I'm going to do. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this platform called YouTube, because I was familiar with YouTube because I had been doing little car videos on YouTube, right? I do car videos on my Ferrari, on my GT3, on my Range Rovers, all the cars that I had. I would do little videos and put them up on YouTube. And I had a small, maybe 1,000 subscribers that kind of followed me. But one thing that was consistent when I was making those car videos back in 2015, 2016, one thing that was consistent was people would always ask the question down in the comment box, hey man, the cars are great, but how are you able to get those cars? What do you do? What do you do to be able to afford a Ferrari 458 Italian and a GT3 and all the other cars you have? What do you do, man? And I said to myself, maybe I can start answering that question from those old car videos, but create new videos just specifically telling people what I did and to build the wealth that I built to be able to afford these nice cars. Maybe I can do that. Maybe that's a way to reach these people who have this financial literacy problem. Because you do know there are about 4.5 billion people in the world who have access to the internet. We ain't got about 8 billion people on the planet. 4.5 billion of them have access to the internet all around the world, just not the United States, everywhere. So I said to myself, and I believe YouTube's reach is the world. Why? Because people commenting on my car videos were from all around the world. Australia, UK, Africa, America, you name it, people were commenting. The Range Rover videos I used to do were a hit in Africa. They loved the Range Rover videos. So I said to myself, shoot, let me start putting this thing on YouTube so that, shoot, let's try that. So that's what I started doing, guys. January 1, 2020. That's what I started doing 100% of the time. That was my company. That's what I started doing. Making videos, taking my high-level skill set that I had acquired by what? Adding more value to the marketplace over 25 years in banking, trading time for money, and then transitioning my skill set from making someone else wealthy. I transferred that skill set to make me wealthy, right? 100% to make me wealthy. Even though I was investing in real estate and I was in the stock market when I was trading time for money, I still felt like I was controlled by my employer, right? Because whoever pays you controls your financial power. Whoever pays you, that's who controls your financial power. I was making a six-figure salary. They were controlling my financial power, even though I had assets over here. Because I was afraid you cut off that six-figure salary, even though I got these assets over here. That's a little scary, even for a guy like me. It was a little scary. But I said to myself, now or never. And I just said, let me take back all of this power that they have over me and create my own thing. Now, I know that's not for everyone, guys. I know business ownership is not for everybody. I know it's not for everybody. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is really the thought process, the mentality. If I'm going to trade time for money, I have to figure out a way to take some of my financial power from whoever's paying me. The only way I can take back that financial power is I got to create assets. I got to create something that will pay me, that I control 100% of. So for me, I said, I'll take my skill set, I'll turn it into a business, plus I got these assets. But for now, I don't need the assets because I'm going to turn this into a business, and I'm going to do what? I'm going to turn my what? My monthly income, I'm going to turn my annual income to my monthly income. And I still said $30,000 per year is where I started, right? I don't want to have so much financial pain that I want to take my at the end of my career annual salary and turn it into monthly salary. I didn't want to go that far. Could I have done that? I could have went down that path, but it was a lot more financial pain in order to go down that path. I didn't want to go down that path. I said, I just want to be able to turn my beginning salary that I started out in banking 25 years ago. I want to be able to make that monthly in this new company. But the only way I get to do that is I got to help enough people get what they want, and then I'll get what I want. That was the motto, right? That's the marching orders. You got to help people first. And then when you help enough people, you get what you want. And that's what I started doing in January 2020. I started making these videos every single day. Just banging them out, 10, 12-minute videos. Talking about what? My 25 years of experience as a banker, dealing with credit, right? Dealing with borrowing money, dealing with how to invest money, dealing with how to buy real estate, dealing with what? How to start businesses, how to grow businesses, because I spent about 18 of my 25 years as a commercial banker. So I knew exactly how to help businesses get started, grow, and then ultimately if they want to sell, right? So I had that skill set. Plus I had the skill set of investing in real estate for income all of those years and in the stock market. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. I didn't take money from people to invest for them. I just took my own money and invested it on my own, right? So I said to myself, now or never, let's see if this thing will work. And lo and behold, 4 years later, it's worked. It worked, right? Because I did what? I put people first, money second. I identified a problem that needed solving. I made sure I had a solution that I believed could solve it. And I just dived in. I knew nothing about YouTube really other than the little car videos that I did. I didn't know anything else. I didn't even know how to even get monetized when I first really started making the videos in 2000, late 2019, getting ready to roll into 2020. It wasn't nothing to monetize because I wasn't making no money at that time. I was just sporadically doing little car videos, which I still have up on the channel. You guys can go back and take a look at them if you like. My point here is, in order to turn your annual income into your monthly income, you have to add value to the marketplace. Now, you can add that value working for someone, or you can add that value in your own business. But either way, you have to become more valuable. The faster you can make money, the more you can grow that money, the quicker you can turn into what? Your annual income into your monthly income. Some of y'all might say, well, hey, that's great. My annual income is $100,000 a year. So what you're trying to tell me, I can turn it into, I can make 100,000 per month? Sure you can. If you're willing to go through the financial pain to do it, sure you can. There are plenty of people out there that do that. I just chose not to go through that financial pain. That's not my goal. My goal was, I just want to, where I started in banking at, if I can get to the point where I can make $30,000 per month, then I'm more than complete when it comes to income. Now, for me, I'm doing more than that, but that was the minimum goal for me. Your minimum could be different than mine, guys. The point is, the blueprint is the same. If you're working for somebody, the only way you make more money is you got to become more valuable, financially valuable. No one's going to pay you big dog money if you're turning in little dog results. Don't work that way. Nobody was going to pay me in banking big boy money, six-figure or better money, if I wasn't delivering results. I delivered results as a banker. That's why I was able to command the salary I was making at the end of my tenure in banking. No one gave me anything. I busted my butt, learned the skill, developed the skill, took the skill to another level, and I demanded to be paid like a top performer. That's how it was. And if they didn't want to pay me, I knew there were competitors out there that would. See, a lot of us are afraid to shop our talent. We're loyal to the 1%. Why? I do not know. But I was in that trap as well. My first 5 to 7 years in banking, I was in that trap. I'm loyal to this bank thinking I'm gonna be here for the next 25 years. I'm very loyal. Till I found out brand new people they were hiring were making more money than me. That was it for me. I was like, no more loyalty to these guys ever again. No more loyalty to the 1%. Let me increase my skill set, and that way I can control the money that I make while I'm working for somebody else. And that's what I did. I moved banks 5 or 6 times in my 25 years. And the reason I moved, I wanted to make more money. And if you're not going to give me more money, I'm going to go over here and make it. And that's what I did. Step 2, don't be afraid to move if you need to. Number 1, birds of a feather flock together, right? You got to hang around with whatever you expect. That's who you need to be hanging around. If you want to be an eagle, hang around with eagles. You want to be an old pigeon, hang around with pigeons. It's that simple. That's number 1 rule. Hang around with the people who are where you want to be. Learn from them and then take action. Be decisive. Step 2, don't be afraid to move. A lot of people stay locked into lousy jobs because they're scared. They're afraid. Oh, I don't know if it'll be, the grass ain't greener on the other side. Bull crap. If you don't take chances on you, nobody else will take a chance on you. I'm telling you guys, you got to take a chance on yourself. I'm not telling you to do something without doing the research and without making sure it's a goal. I'm just telling you, explore what's out there. Shop your talent. Don't just be stuck in some job because you're afraid to move because somebody done told you the grass ain't green on the other side. That's the trick of the 1%, man. That's the trick of the 1%. That's how they keep you employed longer than you should be employed there. That's the trick. Don't fall for that trick. Don't fall for it. That's a trick of the 1%. I'm telling you now. People you work for will take advantage of you financially if you let them. These folks are in business to do what? Get rich at your expense. That's the American way, guys. I keep telling you, this is the American way. They're gonna work you till you can't work no more. Here's what you better do. You better learn your skill set. You better increase your value to the marketplace. And then you better go out in that marketplace and be a big dog. And be bold. And move if you need to move. You're the deliverer. You're the person that's feet on the street. I keep telling people, I never can understand why in the trade industry, electrician, plumber, any trade like that. I'm saying to myself, some of these guys that would come to my house and do little work, they were great. And I ask them, I say, hey man, why you don't get your own business? You're the bomb, dude. You a great AC guy. I'd hire you. You're a great plumber. You're a great electrician. Why just stay working for these guys? And a lot of them just say, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm good on the trade side, but I don't know how to run no business. I don't know. Just keeping themselves what? Making somebody else wealthy. And I'm not picking on the trades. I love the trades, right? I'm just using that as an example because that's what I've been dealing with lately, right? Because I'm trying to get this other house ready to sell. And I'm running into these guys, painters, all kind of people, and they're just doing such a fabulous job. And I'm thinking, why you ain't got your own business, man? Why won't you go on your own? You got the skill set. A lot of it is just fear, right? Fear. Just scared of the unknown. Guys, no risk, no reward. Period. If you're not willing to take risks, you ain't gonna get no reward, right? If you want to take your annual income and turn it into your monthly income, you're gonna have to take some risks, right? You're gonna have to take some risks. You're gonna have to be comfortable with risk. You're gonna have to get comfortable with falling down, failing, and getting back up. I failed a lot of times, guys. I just got back up because I knew on the other side of failure was success. I know on the other side of failure was financial freedom. The point of me telling you this story, the point of me telling you my banking history and how I got out of banking and how I started my own business and how I ultimately got to the point where my monthly income was more than my annual income when I started in banking. The reason I tell you that is because if we're gonna build wealth, guys, it takes this. Your number one tool to build wealth is income. Now, you can go over here and make a gazillion dollars of income for somebody else, and they give you like pennies on the dollar. They take the whole dollar, they give you pennies. Or you can flip the script and figure out how to do what? You get the whole dollar. Again, you don't have to start a business. You just got to take that active income and put it in assets that will generate enough income, right? That'll generate enough income to take care of you. Generate enough income to replace what? Your annual income, if that's what you want to do. For me, I wanted to replace my annual income at some point in my life. I wanted to replace my annual income with my monthly income. Now, for me, it took a business, me getting out of corporate America, trading time for money, starting my own business. And when I started my own business, within 2 years, I was doing that. By 2021, I was doing that. Right? And it just kept going. Why? Because I found a way to multiply my efforts without having to do it all the time. Right? That's what YouTube platform provides me. It provides me an ability to put a video up, and if people connect with that video, it will show in perpetuity. It will make money in perpetuity. So I don't start from zero every month is what I'm saying. Every month I got a guaranteed locked in income coming from residual income from old videos. Every single month. I don't start at zero. That's the kind of income I want to build when I'm talking about owning my own business. And then what you do is you take that business and you start branching out and doing other things, right? You can do affiliate links like I do. You can start financial sessions where you do one-on-one financial sessions. You can start whatever you want to do with your business. You can do it. Is what I'm saying. It's unlimited. And the neat thing about it is you control 100% of what? Your financial power. And again, that ain't for everybody, but for those of you who've been on the fence, should I leave? Should I do this? Get in my own thing. I've been thinking about my own business for years and I haven't done it because I'm afraid. I don't want to leave this cushy, high-paying corporate job or whatever. I don't want to leave it. I'm on autopilot here. I'm making good money. Do I really want to upset the apple cart? You got to make that decision. For me, I had to upset the apple cart. I had to. So I did. And it worked out for me. But the key to all of this is you got to have income in order to build assets. See, it does me no good if I'm making all this money, but I'm not putting it anywhere to continue to grow it on its own so it can produce passive income for me. That's the key for me. That's what freedom is. I need assets that produce passive income. But that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do what? I wanted to get in my own business so I can control 100% of my financial power, continue earning, and not take that money that I'm earning now. And guess what I do with it? I put it in assets. And those assets continue to just grow and grow and grow. Because at some point in the future, I don't want to do nothing. I may not want to do YouTube videos anymore. I may not want to do coaching. I may not want to do affiliate marketing. I may not want to do any of that stuff. I may want to just kick back, buy me a small piece of land somewhere in some obscure part of the Caribbean that's right on the Atlantic Ocean or the Caribbean or the Gulf or wherever I decide to go, and just kick back, get up every morning, walk out the back of my little place and go straight on that white sand, look at that blue water, and look at that beautiful sky above that blue water, and just sit there and drink a cup of coffee. See, that's what I see in my future, guys, in the golden years. That's what I see. But I don't get there unless I got assets. And I don't get my assets high enough unless I add more value to the marketplace so I can command what? More money. The more money I can make, the more money I keep, the more money I can multiply. That's the name of the game when you're building assets, guys. Right? The only reason you want to get from doing what? Right? The only reason you want to go and make monthly what you make annually is so that you can take more money and put it in assets. That's the whole point of it. It's not to, I want to make what I make annually, monthly, so I can go buy a Ferrari, so I can go buy a Lambo, so I can go. No, that's not. If that's what you want to do, go do it. But I'm telling you, that's not going to get you freedom. That's not going to get you freedom. You're going to get some smiles and people pat you on the back, and you're going for a little bit, you'll feel good. And then it's just going to sit in the garage and depreciate. I've been down that path, guys. I've been down that path. I owned a very expensive Ferrari for 4 years. It depreciated all 4 years. Now, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. It was good personal enjoyment, but I would say it sat in the garage more than I drove it. Now, I don't regret that purchase because I bust my butt, I worked hard, and that was on the bucket list. And I had the assets to be able to pull it off. So I don't regret it. I'm just telling you, I've been down that path. The better path is put that money in assets. Build those assets up and control your financial power. That's the better trade-off. The whole key, guys, is we got to make more money. We got to keep more of it. And then we got to multiply what we keep. That's the key. I don't care if I make more monthly than I do annually, that I did annually, if I don't do anything with it. It makes no sense. If all I'm going to do is make all of that money and spend it to continue to make the 1% wealthy, it don't make sense. It's just financially stupid. It's financially stupid. I'm telling you guys this from experience. I've been there. But see, I don't live in the past. I live in the present, and I look forward to the future. I don't live in the past. That's gone. All I can do now is take tomorrow, Lord's will. I wake up in the morning, new day. Guess what? Whole world in front of me. Boom, I start fresh. Get my butt out of bed, get my mind right, and I'm ready to go. Let's tackle the day, baby. Let's go get this money. That's how I think, guys. That's how I think. Let's go help some people. That's why I make so many videos. That's why I do these live streams, is because, see, I understand if I help enough people get what they want, I get what I want. You have to think about that. What are you spending your time doing? What are you spending your time doing? Now, a lot of folks will be coming up on the holidays, right? They're going to get some time off, whether it be Thanksgiving, whether it be Christmas. For those of you that celebrate that, a lot of us, some of y'all don't celebrate that, but for those that celebrate it, you're going to be getting some time off. What are you going to do with that time off? Are you going to be a producer, or are you going to be a consumer? Y'all know Black Friday coming. I don't know why they call it Black Friday, but that's what they call it. The 1%, that's the trick, right? They got y'all, boy, these 1% got y'all with this Black Friday thing. Ooh, Lord, they get ready to just tear a hole in y'all. I'm telling you, the 1%, this propaganda with this Black Friday stuff, listen, man, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. In America, we got $1.3 trillion in credit card debt, $1.6 trillion in student loan debt, $1.5 trillion in automobile loan debt. 62% of people live paycheck to paycheck. 100 million people got no retirement savings, but we all ready and chomping at the bit for Black Friday. To do what? Make the 1% even wealthier. That's all it is. That's it. That's the only person that benefits from Black Friday is the 1%. Y'all do know that, right? That's who benefits. You don't benefit. Oh, I gotta do this and I gotta do that. Listen, man. No, you don't. You don't have to overextend yourself to make the 1% rich. See, that's the propaganda. They already got the commercials going, the social media stuff going. They hit you with the email. I open up my emails, guys, I'm telling you, every hour I got at least 30 emails about Black Friday everywhere. I got about 5 or 6 email addresses that I be checking, right? And every one of them, boom, just bombarded with Black Friday from every major 1% company in the world. Why? Why do they do that? Because these next month and a half, they're going to get so rich off of y'all. This next month and a half. They're going to get rich. Yeah, that's why they do it. See, here's the thing, though. If you reprogram yourself, you'll know that. And you'll say, I'm not falling into that trap. I love the holidays. I love hanging out with family. But if I'm not financially prepared for this, if I got credit card debt, right? If I got no emergency fund, if I got no retirement savings, if I'm living paycheck to paycheck, why in the world would I be going out here getting in more debt for these 1%? All I'm telling you guys is think about where you're at financially. And it's time to start being more fiscally responsible. Don't get caught up in this Black Friday thing, man. Please don't. I know we want to be able to do something nice for our children, or we want to be able to do something nice for our loved ones, or our significant other, or a good friend, or whoever. Just listen, man. Listen, if you're not in a financial position to do anything like buy stuff, spend time with them. Sit down and write them a letter. Tell them how you feel about them. Take them, go pick them up, take them somewhere. Go have a picnic. Go to the beach. Do something that doesn't involve you getting into more debt. That's what the 1% want you to do. I keep telling y'all, they want you to drown in debt. They don't care. They don't. So don't get caught up in that. Don't get caught up in the Black Friday thing. Please, guys, please don't get caught up in it. How to turn your annual salary, annual income into your monthly salary, your monthly income. You got to add more financial value to the marketplace. That increases your salary, guys. It takes money. It increases your salary. It increases your income earning ability, right? Then you got to start hanging around with people who already do that. If I want to be an eagle, I got to hang with eagles. If I want to be a pigeon, I hang with pigeons, right? That's 2. You got to do that. And then number 3, you got to be bold enough to be able to shop your talent. You can't be stuck at somewhere being undervalued, guys. You got to go get your value, especially if you're good at what you do. Other companies out there will pay you if you're good. You can't be the last guy on the totem pole and then want the best guy on the totem pole money. No, you got to put in the work and increase your value. Then you get the big money. Because I get the question all the time, hey man, I'm doing this, but I want to be this. And then I ask the person, well, do you got the skill set? No, I don't. This is what I'm doing, but I don't have any other skill set. Well, guys, you got to create a skill set. I keep telling you, without adding value to the marketplace, no one's going to pay you. And if no one pays you, guess what? You can't take that money then and invest it in assets because you won't have any. You won't have any. The whole key here is, in order to change your financial situation, you got to be more valuable to the marketplace. I don't care if that's working for someone or in your own business. I would say in my career, I was more valuable to the marketplace in my business because that's where I was able to turn my annual income into my monthly income. I was not able to do that in banking. But what I was able to do in banking, I was able to take the income I was making and do what? Buy assets. I did that for 25 years. But until I moved over into my own business and controlled 100% of my financial power, that's when I was able to turn my annual income into my monthly income. That's when I did it. You might be different, right? However you want to get there, get there. You can, though. Don't let someone tell you you can't. That's the trap of the 1%, guys. That's the trap of the 1%. Don't let them tell you what you can't do. I'm not going to let anybody tell me what I can't do. I'm capable of doing anything I put my mind to. That's how I'm wired together. Whatever I believe I'm capable of doing, I can do. You can too. You just got to believe in yourself. And you got to be able to take some risks. Not just wild risks. I'm talking about calculated risks. If I'm good, if I'm good at something, I'm very good at it, and I'm getting paid peanuts, why wouldn't I take my very good skill and go make more money? You see what I'm saying? But if you stay stuck and just take what somebody gives you, that's on you. Because that's how the 1% gonna do you. That's how our system is set up. Our system is not set up to hire somebody and then give them 10% of the company. That's not the way the system is set up. If you got a high enough skill set and you bring enough bang, you can negotiate 10% of the company. But you only get that when you're at the highest level and you bring so much financial value, they got no other choice but to give it to you, or somebody else will. But normally that's not the way it works. Normally they bring you in there, they're gonna give you a salary, you're gonna trade time for money, and they're gonna try to pimp you as long as they can pimp you until you force their hand or you move. Me, I didn't force their hand, I just moved. That's what I did. Every 2 years, I'd go knock on the door of competitor banks. Hey, this is what I did in last year. This is what I'm doing year to date in production. I saw y'all were hiring. I'm ready to move. Here's what I'm looking to make though. They're gonna tell me what I'm ready. Here's what I'm willing to make. Here's what I'm gonna make. If you're willing to pay me this, I'm on your team. And I'm gonna bring all this production with me. That's how I handle business. It wasn't no, well, what are you offering? No. I take control of that. Why? Because I'm the value. I'm bringing the value. I'm making you rich. You got to pay me to make you rich. Come on now. I can't just be walking in there, what do you think? No, ain't no what you think. That's the first thing, guys. Don't ever give anybody your financial power. Don't ever let anybody tell you what your value is. Periodically, when people email me about the financial sessions and I tell them how much it costs, some of them are, want to bargain with me. No, guys, I don't bargain. This is what my time, 1 hour of my time is worth this. I set that scale. If you don't like it, guess what? No hard feelings. Good luck to you. Tap into the videos. That's free. But an hour with me is not free. See, I know my value and I stick to it. Because if I don't value what I do, nobody else will. I keep telling y'all that. If you don't value you, nobody else is going to value you. You got to learn to value yourself. My time is not negotiable. It's just not. So what I'm telling you is birds of a feather flock together. If you want to increase your income, increase your skill set. One way you can increase that skill set is hang around people who are already there. That's one way. Second way, you got to take some risks. You got to be comfortable taking your skill set to the open market and demanding the pay you feel like your skill set demands. You got to do that. If you have a business idea, it's only an idea. You got to ask yourself them two questions. Do I have a solution to solve a problem in the marketplace? And if you do, step two, where do I find the customer? Where do I find that person who needs me to solve their problem? For me, it was YouTube. It was the platform YouTube provided where I could get reach to 4.5 billion people potentially. And all I did was what? Consistency. Discipline, consistency, and patience. That's all I did on this YouTube channel. Y'all know I don't do nothing fancy. Y'all know that. I don't. I just give information and I just consistently do that. I'm disciplined and I'm patient. And in year one, I made more money than I made at the end of my corporate banking career. Year two, I almost tripled what I made in year one. And in year three, I almost doubled what I made in year two. And it's continuing to go up. Why? Why does it continue to go up? Number one, I understand my value and I understand business. And I understand how to move when it comes to making money. See, the big secret for me is people. See, when you put people first, at least in my line of work, when you put people first, you're going to get everything you want. See, in my line of work, what I do with information, you got to put people first. And that's what I do. I always put people first. I always put my subscribers first. I'm never going to put my subscribers in a compromising position. I'm never going to nickel and dime them to death and try to get them to buy all this other little stuff. every little thing. No. Now, others may do that and ain't knocking it. That's just not my lane. My lane is providing information and helping people, because I know if I help enough of you guys improve your situation, I improve my situation. So whatever you decide to do, if it's dealing with people, put them first. Put them first. And then the money will come second. Put them first, and the money will come second. And then when you get that money, you got to put it in something to multiply it. You got to put it in assets, right? You got to constantly put money in assets, because the end game is I want to have enough assets generating enough money to take care of me. That's the end game. That's the whole reason I do all of this. At the end of the day, I want to have enough assets that generate enough income to take care of me. If you do that, you're going to be good. You're not going to have any problems. You're not going to have any problems with money. The people that have problems with money is, number one, they haven't reprogrammed themselves. They haven't reprogrammed themselves. All right? They have not reprogrammed themselves. And number two, they just got a bad behavior with money. You got to reprogram yourself in order to teach yourself good behaviors with money. And then you got to be willing to take your money and put it in something that will multiply it. If you do those things, guys, you're going to win, and you're going to win big. You're going to be able to put yourself in a position to turn your annual salary into your monthly salary, or whatever you want to turn it into. That was my goal. My goal was to do that. That was one of my goals. I said, you know, that $30,000 a year I was making, at some point, I want to make that monthly. And boom, when I started my own business, I was able to do that. And I'm continuing to do it, and it feels great. It feels great to be able to hit that milestone. But it even feels better to be able to take that money and continue to pour it in assets, like paper assets, while they're on discount. Because I know at some point in the not too distant future, they're going to go back to trading at a premium again, and I'm going to make a lot of net worth. I'm so excited about the prime real estate fund that I'm working on, where I'm going to be pulling together investors' money, and we're going to be buying 1 to 4 family dwellings in the coolest places in the country, starting with Boulder, Colorado, and Southwest Florida, and then we're going to expand it from there. And a lot of you have already sent me emails saying, hey, Richard, put me on the list, so when you have the offering documents ready, let me know. Send them to me. I got a couple hundred of you guys already on the list. So if you're interested in the prime real estate fund, number one, go back and look at some of my prior videos where I've really talked about it. Number two, there's an email address down in the description box. Email me. Richard, I'm interested in the prime real estate fund. Give me some information. What I will do is send you an email. Right now, I'm in the forming stage, but I will send you an email and add you to the list. So when I get out of the forming stage, get the offering documents ready, boom. All I got to do is email them out to everybody. And then we're going to rubber meet the road then. So that's what I'm really excited about for 2024, guys. And I hope some of you be a part of it. You don't have to. Y'all know me. I'm going to do it anyways. And I'm going to be successful at it, right? Because I know if I can help enough people get what they want, I get what I want. And that's what the prime real estate fund is going to be about, is helping investors get what they want. And then I get what I want, right? I'm also doing the Magnificent 7 on the Webull app. That's going well, as expected, right? You're talking about the 7 big boy companies in the S&P 500 are in that Magnificent 7. That's why it's called the Magnificent 7. And that's a commitment that I'm going to make for the next 15 months. I'm doing that. And then obviously I'm doing my regular investing. So that's what I'm doing, guys. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to be going into 2024 doing. And I'm going to continue growing this YouTube channel. I'm going to continue growing RF Financial Consulting. That's the name of the game, right? Just continue growing it. People first, money second. If I keep doing those things in that order, I'm going to be blessed. Lord will have favor on me. because I'm doing it right. I'm not trying to rip people off. All I'm trying to do is give information that was beneficial to me to help me get where I'm at financially. That's all I'm doing. I'm no expert. I'm not trying to be an expert. I'm not telling you not to listen to nobody else. I'm just giving you information that has been helpful for me over the last 25 years and has helped me build my wealth. So I give that information back to the world. Whoever chooses to listen, I'm okay with that. Whoever chooses not to listen, I'm okay with that. Because one thing I've learned in my 55 years on this earth, I ain't for everybody. I'm okay with that. That don't hurt my feelings. It really don't. Because I know there is enough people that I can help. I don't worry about the ones that I can't help or don't want my help. I only focus on people that want my help. That's why you notice in the comment section, I only do hearts and respond 99% of the time to the people that actually want help. People that are there just to throw darts and make little crazy comments and do stupid stuff, I just pass by them. Because that goes with the territory, right? Every now and then, I can't help myself. But most of the time, I just bypass it and I concentrate on the ones that are giving me love. That's it. That's how I am. I'm a human being. I'm going to gravitate to positive. Guys, I'm not going to gravitate to negative. Why? Because if I gravitate to negative, guess what happens in my filter system? It starts coming in. And then guess what happens? Since it's in the filter system, now that's all my filter system is looking for is negative. I keep telling you guys, if you want something to change in your life, change it through positive methods. Stop messing around with all this negative stuff. Stop listening to negative stuff. Stop watching negative stuff. Your filter system, it's going to act on what you put in it. It's going to give out what you put in it. Whatever you put in your filter system, that's what's coming out. So if you put negative in your filter system, negative comes out. If you're putting positive in your filter system, positive comes out. That's the name of the games, guys. So make sure you guys listen carefully. If you want to change something in your life, you got to change it. I'm here to help you every single day, dropping financial nuggets and tidbits on these YouTube videos and these live streams that turn into videos. So if you're interested in that, subscribe and come rock with me. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. We're looking for a big old gigantic win in 2024. And I'm going to be bringing out all the content every single day to help you guys put you in a position to win. So hit the thumbs up, hit the like button before you get out of here. I really would appreciate it. Hit that like button for me. I really would appreciate it. Also, if you want that Webull offer, it's down in the description box. They're going to give you up to 12 free stocks for just signing up for their brokerage app and trying it out, right? And then if you email me, I'm going to send you a tutorial video to teach you how to use it in order to start buying paper assets, to start adding to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow you're going to be looking for, right? Well, guys, thank you very much. I appreciate you rocking with me tonight. Y'all know I love you. I'm going to be back tomorrow. So tap in. Tap in. Thoughts become things. You can see it in your mind. You can hold it in your hands. You guys keep chasing your greatness. Never stop believing in yourself. And I'm going to catch you on the next one. Peace.